what was the reason like Tactical Games came out with a speed and agility program? How did you get recruited into that? And then what's the ultimate goal with the program?
Yeah. So I currently train all of my clients out of a local gym in Liberty Hill, Texas called Rattler CrossFit. Um, the current owner of the Tactical Games, Jared Helbert, owns the gym. And for a couple of months over the summer, he observed my personal training and the way I train my clients. So he approached me and said, "Hey, I see a huge gap in the speed shooting space for a program like this. All of the movements that I see you doing and the way that I see you training your clients, like this is exactly what is needed." He gave me sort of an outline of what a week should probably look like. Because again, I wasn't really involved in the speed shooting space. A little bit more familiar with the Tactical Games format, but again, there's a lot of fitness involved in that. So see small snippets of the shooting portion. So I said, great, let me write out a week's worth of programming and, lay the feedback on me. Like, let me know what you think. So I wrote that out for him in a couple days. He's like, "Amanda, this is exactly what is needed. Let's publish this. Let's put it on the training app and move forward with it." So there's really a lot baked into that program, starting with your warm up and your movement prep. There's a lot of mobility work included in that. Additionally, we're looking to, generate some blood flow and prime the joints for the movements that we'll be performing that day. Additionally, I'm trying to be very mindful of what I include in that warm up and movement prep so that it's actually something that you can bring with you to the day of your match. And, the equipment is very limited. It's generally body weight movement or resistance bands. Maybe there's, a light dumbbell or kettlebell involved. But a lot of those movements are a great way for you to warm up match day. Take 10 minutes before your match and just get your body ready. So I hope I try to note that in the warm-up section on the training app, but hopefully people can kind of take that away with them and say, "Oh, this is actually a great resource for me before I actually dive into match day." Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I actually really like that. Typically, you don't see a lot of 300s stretching before the a stage. Maybe a little bit more in USPSA on like a national level, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's weird, right? Because we have I always say there's like, three main aspects of competitive shooting, which would be marksmanship, which is like hitting the target, right? And then weapons manipulation, which would be drawing, reloading, switching guns, things like that. And then movement. And movement you can save a ton of time on without getting any better at anything else. And I think I don't know. I'm certainly guilty of it myself. Like maybe I'll do like a waist bend, touch toes a couple times, do a couple air squats and like, all right, let's do this. And then, stand around for the next 5 hours waiting for my turn to shoot, where you get stiff. So I do like the warm up portions of it. And they're different every single day based on what we're doing. But I do see, now that you're talking about it, like I do see how each of those could be used like before a stage or before a day of shooting or something like that. Like this one here is coming up where we're going to have to get in reverse kneel. Like maybe we're doing some deep squats or some split squats or something like that to warm up for that stage.
Look at you.
I know. I'm making those connections. It only took me 5 months, but here we are.
Getting back to the program. So after the warm up and movement prep, I dive into your strength portion of the day. You have probably noticed all of the strength days, they're full body workouts. So you will notice there's a lower body component and an upper body component and probably some core work incorporated in there. That is very intentional. Couple reasons. One is for recovery purposes. So we're not just hammering your legs all day on Monday. Come Tuesday, you can hardly walk. We're performing, say Monday is your hack squat and your, some sort of upper body pull day. Come Tuesday, we're looking at totally different movement patterns for the lower and upper body. So we are targeting different muscle groups on those days. So that is very intentional. Additionally, a note that you brought up to me probably a couple months ago now is, hey, Amanda, how many people are actually working out 5 or 6 days a week? Well, majority of the population, not so much. With the Speed and Agility program, you'll see that I actually program 3 strength specific days, one full body conditioning day, and then I include 1 active recovery day that gives you some more like mobility work and just low intensity sustained movement. So really the strength work is really only 3 days a week. And that is definitely what I would recommend for majority of folks. 3, maybe 4 days of strength training, and taking the time for recovery, because that work is so important and a lot of us neglect that.